All right, well, welcome to HSBN Media Day. Coach, can you please introduce yourself and the players you have with you?
Sure, my name's Andy Mook, head coach at Jupiter High School. We got Elijah Scadina, and we got Bobby Fasulo, and we got Joey Urban. Elijah is pitcher first base, Bobby's outfield, Joey shortstop, third base, really our total infield with us. It was great that you guys had this media day. I mean, it's great for our players to kind of come out and be able to get showcased, and you guys do a wonderful job of showcasing our players and always covering our games and covering everything that Jupiter High School, and let alone actually just Palm Beach County, let alone all the counties. I mean, you're all state of Florida, which is fantastic for everybody to be able to, see all these teams and be able to see the coverage.
Great. And out there today, players, is there something that you especially liked today? I mean, this is your last one, you're seniors, so.
Well, this was my first one since I had just moved here, but it was fun getting to go do the exit velo and do IO before the season, kind of get some of the cobwebs knocked off for sure.
Yeah, it was nice getting the whole, like you said, it's a little icebreaker for the season to get the whole team back into it.
Yeah, the exit velo was probably the best part of it. Running the 60 time was all right, but
a little cold.
Doing IO for the first time in a while was definitely needed it.
Yeah.
That's great. And did you get to see some of the other guys you know for a long time in other teams?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Which is good. Which is a good to see them and things like that. So that's good. Okay. And all right. So perhaps the biggest change this year is the new district the team is now in. It seems like Jupiter faced the same teams forever. So what do you think is going to be like now, Coach?
I don't think it's really going to be a big change to us, other than more transporting. All right, more miles that we have to cover. We've always played Treasure Coast. I mean, obviously COVID prevented us to play then because Palm Beach County had the rule that we could only go to one county that touched our county. So we've been playing Treasure Coast, I think, for the last 3 years. Vero, we've tried. We were supposed to play, I think, one time before. So it's just another challenge. I mean, the best, and we're still playing the teams that we normally play down by us, that were in our district. So it's just another chapter, another new teams. I mean, it's another great district that we're in. We're not that familiar with some of the opponents, so it'll just be that, we'll just kind of take one step at a time. I mean, really, I don't want to come across as arrogant, but I mean, we need to worry about us, not worry about other teams. If we play our game, we have the approach that we need to do, practice what we need to do, and carry that in the game. It doesn't really matter the opponent. It matters what we can do. If you worry about the opponent you're playing, it's game's done. It's you carrying yourself on that game and your team. If we can do that, we're going to have success.
And for the players with the redistrict, what's some of the new teams that you're going to be facing? Is there anyone that you're looking forward to?
Definitely looking forward to getting a new mix of teams to play and just kind of seeing what else is out there in Florida outside of our little bubble.
Yeah,
Right.
just more of a variety because I have some of my friends up there in Jensen Beach and up there, and I know there's a good pitching that we don't always we face good pitching, but there's just some guys up there that I know can throw it, and it's just going to be fun seeing some new arms more often.
That's great. So still, it's only been a few years since Jupiter's first state title in 2018. That raised the bar for this program. So what it's like now for you to be part of this tradition for both the coach and the players?
We went to states 3 times. We finally won it in 2018. We haven't been back. We've had our, COVID knocked out. Last year we had breaks that didn't go our way. We could have, easily competed just like normal. So it was great because we've always wanted to set that bar, but once, the players achieve it, and then players who are coming into the program see that achievement, it becomes that standard. Because if you look at a lot of the teams that keep repeating or keep going to states, Stoneman Douglas is a prime example. Timber Creek, I think, went 3 years in a row. It becomes that tradition where all the players as 8th graders see it, and they come in as 9th graders, and then 10th. They know it. That's kind of the bar, and we can't be underneath it. And it's great because it's that drive for them. Because before, to be honest with you, when I was coaching, you didn't really think of states. You just were trying to win games and do stuff. But once you hit that, that mark, now it's like, And then now the players have that more push to push them a little bit more, to push the team more, and kind of gel and be able to see that chemistry.
What about you players for this tradition of this team?
Definitely, since we didn't have a great season last year, it gives us a target to kind of keep the culture going. And we got a lot of young guys on the team, so it'll help them for their next years too.
Yeah, definitely makes you work harder and push harder towards that goal. since that happened in the past, and you see some of those guys that, like, on the team that you play with that had that ring, that you want it even more.
Yeah, you just want to chase that dream of always going to states, but we need to.
One step at a time, for sure.
Yeah.
And you have many returning varsity players, including, I think, 9 seniors?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah. So are expectations high this year?
Yeah. I mean, we were pretty much young last year. Especially I think our whole entire infield was a non-senior. We lost a senior catcher, a senior outfielder. One of our infielders we went to outfield, and everybody else was young, and so they got kind of thrown to the wolves a little bit with the competition that we play, and that should hopefully breed success for hopefully this year. It just depends on if we can take what we learned, went into the summer, went into the fall, and just kind of taking that one step at a time and moving forward. I always say take one step forward, don't take a step backwards. So as long as we can keep it doesn't matter if it's a little step, a little baby step, or a giant leap, as long as we keep moving forward. And we have all the tools, we have all the pieces. It just depends if we can put it all together.
That's great. And so the advantages of coaching a veteran team for you is what?
Well, what the advantage would be, I now have more mini coaches. I mean, I have plenty of coaches, but what us coaches, doesn't matter if you're a head or assistant, what's great is when you've got guys who've been in the program, they've matured, they've been around it, they've seen stuff, they've seen defeat and failure, and they know to rise above it, and now they can be the little mini coach voices and the push to the other players. And now that builds a chemistry where they're now fighting for one another, and it's not the coaches harping on them or me or anybody. Now they're the ones who are driving one another for that one common goal. So with a veteran team, that's where you want. And I think we're coming around. I mean, we just took IO for the first time for the spring season. So, we're baby stepping it, and Monday's going to be a big day to kind of take that next step forward. So, but it's great that we will return. These guys have their head on the shoulders. A lot of them grown up, they're maturing, and the direction looks great. Just hopefully we keep that direction going.
And what about the players? What are the advantages of being part of a veteran team like this?
Definitely gives us a lot more chemistry because a lot of us are in the same grade, so we can kind of come together as a team. But we definitely have a lot to prove coming off of last season. We want to make sure that the state win isn't just a fluke. So.
Yeah, grew up with a bunch of the guys throughout the years, even the younger ones. So a lot of chemistry going through there, and just need to make it even tighter.
Just maturing and all become like mini coaches, like you said, and using our voices and just helping out the team.
And they do say that Jupiter plays perhaps one of the toughest schedules in Palm Beach County. So what's it like to have that, to face such tough teams with your schedule?
I guess, you guys could answer if you want, but my belief was always it matters the end. Your last game you play is what matters. No one wants to lose. No one plays a sport to lose. And for me, it's just like if we play a team, and I'm not knocking any teams that aren't to a caliber of other teams, but the thing is that I want to go against the best. I want them to see the best. And I think that brings out more. If you play a good team, then you play a team that's not as good, sometimes, your level of intensity kind of starts wavering. And when every day, because, guys are young, you can tell people, hey, you got to play every game like you're playing that state champ. Well, you know what? You look over the other team, you're like, they're not really where this other team is. Or, hey, that team has 4 possible draft picks. Well, you're going to bring your A games. Just like when, the Rays now are really good, but back in the day, the Rays always played the Yankees really tough because the Yankees probably took them, it's Tampa, back then, Tampa Bay Rays. So for me, wins, losses, I throw that out the window. To be honest with you, I don't even know what my record is. All I care about is these guys getting better and seeing the best competition, because then that gets us better for when we get in the district tournament, and let alone get in the regionals. Because once you get in regionals, get into state, everybody's good. You're going to see, especially if you get to state, you're going to see the top 3 arms. They're all going somewhere. They're all possible draft picks. I had the pleasure of coaching the one All-Star game for FACA, and it was amazing because I had, there's 25 guys on that team, and half of them were draft picks. And it was just like, wow. And those were state, they all pretty much went to state. And so to have our players face that competition pretty much every game that we play, that brings intensity. So they know that practice, I can't bring my A game. I got to keep stepping forward. So, I know people knock me for that because a lot of people like to have 20 wins and have a winning season, and you look like you're a great coach when you have a winning season. But for me, I'd rather get these guys better, especially when they go to college. There's nothing better when you have a player who goes to college and when they come home to visit and their fall they had no problem because they've already faced those pitchers that they were facing in college because they saw them in high school.
And what about the players, about facing some tough teams?
Definitely keeps us of not, going down, because if you play a team that they're, you're going to walk on them, you're going to play down, and then you risk losing. So playing tough competition keeps us definitely performing at our best.
Yeah, I love the better arms, the more crafty arms, and it helps us play at a higher caliber.
Makes it more fun. Make it a dogfight.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for being
Thank you.
here, and good luck this year.
I appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you.
So that wasn't painful, guys. See?
No, it's
Okay.